No, in fact, it's very timely because I was just talking about your efforts at tool changing way back. And how far did you get with that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we have it from the horse's mouth.
Absolutely.
It did work.
It did work.
Maybe not very well, but it did work.
But we're coming pretty close to perfecting it now. Woo! Awesome to see you. See you on Sunday. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You can't refuse.
All the spirit of the 3DPI Industry Awards, meeting world industry leaders and innovators.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. When
a man like that comes up and he's like, I want to take a selfie with you, you don't say no.
Not a problem.
You don't say no.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question,
of course,
Sanjay, because not many people know about you and why you got into 3D printers and what actually kicked you off in the first thing. I know you're a bit of a geek. Yeah. Not in a bad way. I know you like your tech.
Yeah.
So what kicks you off to? Because no one knows. You haven't talked about this. So I want to know. Everyone wants to know. My viewers want to know what kicks you off.
I went to Newcastle University to do a degree in computing science because I could code and I found it interesting. But shortly into my degree, I found myself getting much more towards the low level and hardware control side. And I started to mix in electrical and mechanical engineering modules and material science. And so I ended up with this weird mishmash of a degree, which was really interesting. And then I went from there onto something called the Culture Lab, which is an extension of Newcastle University. And I did a master's involving like swarming robotics. And I was so privileged there to have access to a Stratasys Dimension, an amazing laser cutter, a bunch of SLA machines, a workshop full of equipment, a CNC router. Yeah. And after that, I decided that I wanted to go and teach engineering because I was really dissatisfied with the way that engineering is not taught in the UK and how design technology as a subject has fallen far behind. So I went in there with an objective that really needs updating. And so I did my PGCE, which is the course that you need to do to become a teacher.
Requisite.
And while I was there, I went from the Culture Lab, which is this incredibly well-equipped, amazing lab full of people that know how to use all this amazing equipment, to what was basically a design technology classroom with hacks like saws and chisels.
Shop work.
And I was like, how am I meant to make stuff?
Yeah.
And so I'd been following the R.I.P project from its very beginnings because the concept of it is, absolutely mind-blowing. And so I was at a convention where equipment for design technology teachers is sold, and I bumped into a guy from R.I.P Pro.
So the R.I.P project and Dr. Adrian Bauer's project that actually kicked you off, that was the catalyst.
I've been following it for a long time, and then I bumped into Jean-Marc Giacalone, which is, I have to give a lot of credit to him, because we sat and we talked for a very long time, and he developed the R.I.P Huxley, the very small one, but very affordable, a very well engineered machine, way ahead of its time, in fact. And I bought one of those with a couple of friends, and one of those friends is now my business partner, Dave. And we built this 3D printer, and we were like, what we'll do is we'll buy that one, and then we'll print the parts for the other one, and then all three of us will have a 3D printer. But then it came to the time to print the next 3D printer, and I was like, let's not print a Huxley, let's print a Mendel 90, which was Chris Palmer, aka Knothead's new design, which had just come out, was on beta and GitHub, and so we printed those parts. And then where things get interesting is, at the time, hot ends were made of PEEK and PTFE, and we were broke. Like, we had no money. We were students that had just finished a teaching course, and so buying a bar of PEEK will cost you £100, and buying a bar of PTFE will cost you £100. So you're like 200 quid down. I'm like, can I build a hot end without using these expensive materials. So my objective when we were trying to make an all-metal hot end really wasn't about much higher performance and better result. It was just I can't afford to buy the Pica PTFE.
Can I get something that works?
So I have to.
Can I get it? Can I rapidly prototype it?
And so we made it out of nuts, and literally bolts and nuts and bits of stainless bolts.
Did it work?
And it worked. I have about 50 that didn't work, but I had one that does work.
Yeah.
And that one
have
that
you kept
does.
It?
Yeah. No, we have it. yeah. Well, that's V0. Or no, V1.
Yeah.
So the versioning up to, we have the V4, which was our first public release, V5 and V6.
Yeah.
They all inherit from V1. And so we built this hot end, and then we discovered that not only was it cheaper to make, but we could print at higher temperatures, and we had better extrusion response. And we're like, wow, this is
excellent.
This is something. And then we were selling, so we were now able to make printers for much cheaper, and so we were selling these printers on eBay without much luck, really. But people would always send us comments like, "Can I just buy the hot end?"
Yeah.
And then eventually we were like,
got something here.
Maybe we should sell hot ends.
Yeah.
And so maybe we should sell hot ends. And so we made our first.
Pitch, leader of 3DPI.
Everyone's rocking up to the E3D table.
Yeah. Can I just move you forward because this won't be that long.
Yeah. Sorry, you want to cram it down. I'm so bad at this. I'm notorious. All the YouTubers hate me.
I want to hear more. No, it's good. It's good stuff, right? What I really want to say is, E3D has been how long in existence?
Since about late 2012.
Yeah, so a good few years now, yeah?
Yeah,
and it's established, and it's a UK company, British company, which I really support. I like to see the UK ecosystem developing and exporting worldwide, especially with your collaboration. Is it a collaboration with the producer, original producer?
Well, we're a supplier. We do.
But it seems to like your product very well.
Absolutely, we do research and development on their behalf, so we develop the multi-material heat breaks.
The accolade for me is that your extruders and your hot ends are now cloned in China.
Yeah,
that is obviously, well, it's not a good thing really, but it shows that your product is actually good enough, and it can stand the clone process.
I know that's the thing though. It's very hard to make hot ends, right? It's really hard, and it's as much a quality control and attention to detail process as it is a design process. And so when you're buying an E3D hot end, probably 20-30% of the cost is in quality control and that fastidiousness of inspection.
So your quality control, you're saying, is very high compared to, I think it would be compared to a clone.
We have hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of quality control equipment. We have Keyence inspection microscopes, we have standard microscopes, we have tons of gauges. We built machines that test every single part. So we built machines that test heater cartridges, thermistors, fans, and you plug them in and it gives you all the data, like the report, and they're all networked over the Wi-Fi, and they report all their data.
There can never be enough QC. There can never be enough QC.
QC is life.
Especially when it's got your name on it.
Yeah, exactly. QC is everything.
One of the things I really like about UK companies, especially ones that are kind of becoming really routine established, is that they have a certain tenacity to expand and develop new products. And one of the products I was really sad about was your 3D printer, the 3D printer.
Oh yeah, big box.
And I spoke to Jeff about it. It was Jeff, wasn't it?
Greg.
Sorry, excuse me. Greg about it. And that really saddened me that printer never took off. But to me, it looked like it was a Prusa contender. If everyone's seen one out there that had a potential to actually challenge a challenger.
But if I'm being really honest, is that we had a lot of advanced features and really cool stuff, but I feel that the Prusa guys have probably done it in a more efficient way in terms of their supply chain and bill of materials. That machine is a lot slicker in terms of the number of components and parts compared to a big box. And I think that's one of the major areas where we fell down, because it gave us a very complex supply chain with a high degree of risk. And so, it was logistics, and timing in the market that was really the issue.
Brilliant. Well, thanks again for speaking to Afro 3D Printers.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Again, congratulations on winning your award at the 3TPI.
Thank you
Give us
very
another
much.
flash it again. Flash it. There we go. Woo! This lovely little thing here.
I'm sorry I talk so much on camera.
And we'll
Notorious.
I'm sure we'll see up more.
Joel Telling hates me.
Oh, dear. No.
You see the